You know, it's funny. We use thousands of words every single day. But have you ever stopped to think about the small ones? The ones we use so often we don't even notice them? Well, it turns out one of the most common words we use is hiding a pretty amazing secret. And today, we're going to find out what it is. We are going to put one simple, everyday word under the microscope. And trust me, by the end of this, you will never look at it the same way again. So, what's our mystery word? Yep, that's it. Again. It seems so ordinary, right? We say it all the time, but this little word, it's a member of a very, very exclusive club. Okay, so before we get to the big secret, we gotta understand the basics. Let's do a quick breakdown of this word's anatomy.
First off, what's really cool is how it's even said differently. Here in the US, you'll probably hear again, but if you pop over to the UK, it sounds more like again. It's a tiny difference, but it's a perfect example of how language is always shifting and changing.
So what does it do? Well, grammatically, it's a preposition, and its whole job, its entire purpose, is beautifully simple. It just means once more. That's it. It signals that something is being repeated. Think about it in a sentence like this. That one word, again, does all the work. It tells you the entire action was repeated without needing to say, they asked the same question a second time. It's just so clean and efficient. So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. It's a useful word. So what? Well, this is where our story takes a really fascinating turn. Get this. This is the secret. Again, isn't just a common word. It was specifically chosen to be on something called the Basic English 850 list. It's one of the most essential words in the entire language. So what in the world is that list? Let's dive into this 850-word club. This is the magic number. Out of the hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, a linguist named Charles K. Ogden had this wild idea that you could say almost anything you needed to for everyday life with just 850 words. So the BE850 isn't about dumbing down the language. Not at all. Think of it more like a universal toolkit. It was designed to be a simple, core vocabulary that anyone in the world could learn to communicate clearly. It's all about finding the most powerful and efficient heart of the language. So, why did again make the final cut for this elite team of words? Well, first, it's a preposition, a fundamental building block. Second, it's absolutely essential for expressing repetition. I mean, how else would you do it so simply? And finally, it's just one of the most frequently used words we have. It's a true linguistic powerhouse. And this all brings us to the real takeaway here. What can the story of this one little word teach us about how we communicate every single day? It really comes down to this. Small words can have a huge impact. The most powerful, clear communication often comes from these simple words that we barely even think about. They are the invisible engines driving our conversations. I mean, just look at this. You could say once again or do it over, and those are fine. But again is just tighter. It's more direct. It gets the job done with zero fuss. It really proves that you don't need complexity to have clarity. And that's really the heart of it all. We've seen how a word we probably use without a second thought is actually a little masterpiece of efficiency. Its spot on that 850-word list isn't just a piece of trivia. It shows that the whole idea behind basic English, creating clear global communication, is built on the foundation of these powerful, simple concepts. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. If your entire vocabulary was boiled down to just its 850 most essential parts, what would be the most important things for you to express? What ideas would you absolutely need to say? Again,